Hey everybody, Lewis here, Rshackbbq and other things. So, here it is, the holiday season. We got sun shining through, that's beautiful. Holiday season's going on, and I was asked if I could do some smoked salmon to take to a holiday party. And I said, sure, why not? So, I'm going to do some smoked salmon. I'm going to show you my brine. Now this process that I do, we put it in a brine for 6 to 12 hours, could be overnight. Then we take them out and we rinse them off, we pat them dry, and we let them sit another 6 to 12 hours or overnight. And then we're going to smoke them. And we're going to smoke them on the Pitboss vertical pellet grill. We're going to set it just in the smoke setting. That thing probably is going to run about 180 to 225. So we're going to just put it in there and then we're going to monitor it. It should only take about 3 hours at that temp. We may have to pull them and add a little bit of honey just to kind of give it a good glaze. But we'll see. We'll see what it does with the brine that we do. And I do a dry brine. So let's get into this and let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I went over to Costco and I picked up two 2-pound salmon fillets. These apparently do not have the skin on. Normally I like to get them with the skin on, but these ones don't have it, which is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll go and kind of cut these into little strips, and then I'll put up make up my brine. So like I said, I use a dry brine. I'm going to set these aside. And my dry brine is basically made up of brown sugar, canning salt, and black pepper. And the ratio is basically for every cup of brown sugar, it's a 1/4 cup salt and a couple tablespoons of black pepper. So right now I have 4 pounds of brown sugar, I have 1 cup of salt, and I have a 1/4 cup of black pepper. And the salt I like to use is Morton's canning and pickling salt. This is dark brown sugar. You could use light or dark. I just grabbed dark. So what you want to do is we're going to take a bigger bowl and we're just going to put some of this brown sugar in here and declump it. We want a nice loose pack, like so. Then we're going to take some salt. Put that in there and some black pepper. And we're just going to kind of mix it up. And we're going to repeat this till we have everything mixed in together. Just nice and loose, not too thick. Just kind of breaking up the clumps. Put most of the salt in there. We just want a nice consistency. Something like that. Okay, then I have these plastic containers that I picked up at the dollar store. What you want to do is put a nice layer on the bottom here. Try to make it as even as possible, get it all covered. So now we're going to chunk up our salmon and we'll get it laid in here. Okay, I've got one of our fillets laid out here. I have rinsed it off even though it was in that sealed packet. I went ahead and rinsed it off and I patted it dry. So all we want to do is just come in and kind of get an idea of how we're going to chunk it. Something like this. Say something in here. The actual sizes, it doesn't matter. You're just trying to make it easier to work with. All right, something like that. Then what you want to do is just lay these in your pan like so. Now ideally you don't want them to touch each other because you're going to add more brown sugar up on the top of it like this. You want to get this completely coated. Now if you're doing a bunch of this, you could do it like this and then come in, because these are nice and deep, come in with another layer up over the top. So you can see here I have them well coated. I decided just to go with 2 containers. So we'll put the lids on them like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put them in the fridge and let them sit in the fridge. Now this is a dry brine. When these come out of the fridge, that salt will have absorbed all the water and sucked it out of that salmon fillets, and this will become a liquid. And as the salt is sucking out the water, that brown sugar and that black pepper and some of the salt will actually soak into the meat to give it that flavoring. So it's time to get these in the fridge for at least 6 hours. So here you see I got them on a shallow pan with a rack on it so that the air can circulate all the way around these. Now the one thing you'll notice about these is they actually almost feel like they're made of plastic now that the cure has gone through it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pat them dry here, just with a paper towel. Doesn't take a whole lot. And then we'll stick these back in the fridge for overnight and let them finish the air drying process. They're going to come out and they're going to look a little like a white film has built over it, and that's what you want. So let's get these kind of dried off, and we'll get them out there in the fridge till morning. Here's our salmon fillets that we pulled out of the fridge now. We're gonna let them sit up here and air dry a little longer at room temp as we go get the smoker set up and get it up to the temp that we're gonna run it at. So let's go out to the Pitboss vertical Copperhead and get it going. So we put water in the water pan, put our racks in, and I got it set at 150, which is the lowest setting. We'll let her come up to smoke here in a few minutes, and then we'll start putting our salmon on. Okay, we got our smoked salmon going. Give it a few hours here. Okay, our salmon is almost done here. We'll do one more little trick to it. Put it up. Just pull this rack out a little bit here. All I'm going to do is take some black pepper, sprinkle it on there. A little more flavoring. Then we're going to take some honey. Dribble some honey on it. Not much, just enough to give it a little more flavor. Now, because we're running this about 180 to 200, I'm able to grab these racks and they're not burning. Bottom one here, hit 2. Let's zoom in on that. A little bit of pepper there, a little bit of spice. Now for the honey. Just a little bit of honey. Take much. Like that. Okay, let's get this closed back up so we can get the smoke. Okay, our salmon is done here. Take it out, take a look at it inside. Here's our finished smoked salmon. We had it on the smoker probably for a good 4 hours at the 175 before it got up to over 165 internal. And it is just beautiful glistening. Let's take a bite and see what it's like. That's pretty good. Yeah. So you saw how I did that. I had to brine it for 12 hours. That's what I ended up doing it. And then I took them out and patted them dry and put them back in the fridge for another 12 hours. And then I kicked up the Pitboss vertical, set it on the 175, and let it come up to temp, and then I put the salmon on the rack and let it just go till I probed it at 165. These are about 170 to 180 range right now, so a little carryover heat, but yeah, look at those. They just came out beautiful. Yeah, just take a little sample there. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I say, you can do this too. Grill on, my friends. So